Hey folks, I am doing a review of the Ariel Rider Kepler 52 volt versus the comparison to the Wicked Freedom Fat Tire e-bike that they changed the actual company name to Wired. But besides the point, I'm just going to explain to you why I feel that this Wicked Freedom Fat Tire e-bike is definitely a better deal. You're getting more for your money, and it looks like they're really the same price at this point. Looks like Kepler actually went up in price. I think it used to be $1,800, but let's just look at this, all the components. So you can get it in a high step. It comes with the rack and everything and the fenders, but you could also get it in a low step for people that are a little bit shorter, and comes in all different colors: red, blue, black, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm going to go over the components. All right, so it's got a 1,000-watt motor, peaks out at 52. It's got a 1,000-watt motor, peaks out at 1,800 watts. Not in the sneeze, but it's good. Probably got a lot of power. 20-volt battery. 20 amp hour battery. 52 volt. It's a good battery. It's got a lot of power. Gives you a rack. Good display. Let me just go down to the components. We'll just get right into it. So here's the electronics. Like I said, 52 volt, 20 amp hour battery. I mean, you know what? If you're in pedal assist level 5, that's the top pedal. It says 35 to 75 range. You're really not getting that. You're getting about 20 miles. I mean, that's bottom line. You're really not getting as many miles, even in pedal assist. Top pedaling your ass off and flying, doing 35 to 36, 37, 38 miles an hour. You just need another battery. It has a pretty good controller. It's got a 33 amp controller. That's actually a really good control. There's nothing to sneeze about with that. So, you add the 52 volt battery and you add that controller and you got a decent amount of power. There's no doubt about it. Let me go to the components here. So let's see what cranks at. So they put a 52 volt chain ring on it, which is nothing to sneeze about. So you know what? You're probably not going to get any ghost pedaling with this bike. For the price, I don't see it being a bad deal. But you know what? Let's look at the Wicked Freedom bike. So I'm going to go over here to this tab and go into... Here we are. Okay, so here's Wicked Freedom. You still have to put in wickedebikes.com to get to it. It's called Wired now. I don't know what's going on with that, but... And right off the bat, you see you got a more powerful battery. You got a 60 volt, 20 amp hour battery. 2,000 watt. It's peaking at 2,000 watts. I tried to look for the data on here on the site to see what kind of motor it is. It's probably 1,000 watt. It's just peaking out so much because you're running a 60 volt battery. It makes a big difference from a 52. It's the same price, and what's nice about this bike, it's full suspension. Can't beat that for $2,000. It's full suspension. Comes in colors, different colors. So you see, it's 1,000 watt continuous, 2,000 watt peak motor, right? And the reason why is because you're getting an updated controller. That's the bottom line. You get it. Let's go to this. Let's go to the electronics on it. Let's take a look and see if we can find. Here we go. All right, so this is the step-through model. Step-through model doesn't have a full suspension. Okay, but in essence, the electronics on the bike are the same. Let's just go down to the stats. Let me pull up the full suspension. This way you can see it. Here's a full suspension bike. All right, well, there you go. Take a look at it. All right. Controller on the back. I mean, simple setup. Nothing crazy as far as the setup. You do get front fork, suspension in the middle, obviously right here. I'm sure it's a lot better ride than the Kepler. I mean, in essence, it's really almost the same bike except for that. Okay, let's go to electronics. So here's where the game changer is. So you got a 60-volt battery, 20 amp hour. Okay, I'm sure if you're really banging this thing out at top speed, you're probably only going to get 20 miles, just like the Kepler. There's no doubt about it, because unless you're going to, pedal it in like, level 2, you could probably do 20 miles an hour and you could stretch out the distance. But at the end of the day, if you put it in it quick, you're going to need another battery. So this is the game changer right here. 40 amp controller for a 60 volt. Now I'm going to tell you right now, between the 60 volt battery and this 40 amp controller, you're getting better performance. I'm sure, just by looking at some of the videos I've seen, that this bike is definitely faster than the Kepler. If you have a guy or a girl that's the same weight, same leg strength, and they're pedaling it out, is it much of a difference? No. But you know what? I'm going with the better battery. I'm going with a 60 volt battery. I'm going with a better controller. That's the bottom line. And you're getting a full suspension. And it's got the same tire size. You got a suspension fork in the front. It's giving you a rack. Will you have to wait longer for this bike? You might, because this is a newer company. But you know what? They're selling like hotcakes. And I looked at some of the reviews, and I looked at some of the videos on YouTube on the bike, and it's a monster for $2,000. So if you're going to choose between this one or the Kepler, I'm going with the Freedom bike. If you're able to get the bikes at the same time, and you don't mind, you might, if you have time to wait. But and I would probably go with the wired. I would go with the wired. If you have no time and you really want to get into a bike, this bike looks like it's available right now. Do yourself some research. Google some, YouTube, some search on YouTube. Look at the videos for the Kepler. Look at the videos for the Freedom. And you're going to make your own decision. But at the end of the day, I think you're going to come to your senses and realize that this is the Freedom bike is the better deal. My personal opinion. This is the better deal. Better performance, full suspension. You get a rack, you get the fenders. And they have a step through if you want the step through. The only thing with the step through is you're not getting full suspension. But it offers it, and it's the same power performance as the full suspension bike. Do your research. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments down below, and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks again, everybody.